What is YouTube? Seems like a funny question, right? Because we all know what YouTube is. It's a platform. It's a streaming / entertainment platform. Right? Isn't that all that it is? Well, no. It's so much more than that to many people. At its base level, that's what it's designed as. It's designed as a place where people can create videos that other people would then watch for entertainment, just like TV. So how much more could it be? Well, it could be a lot more. Some people can use it at its base form to help them out with their own life. Right? As a way to de-stress. As a way to find help. As a way to spark creativity. But for many people also, it's a job. It's their workplace. Whether as a content creator or even behind the scenes working for YouTube itself. It's a livelihood. So, in this video I want to answer a few questions. Number one, why do I want to be a part of the YouTube space? What is my reasoning for it? Is it for the fame and the glory that some people have? Is it just a creative outlet? Number two, why did I pick the content that I chose to do on YouTube? Raid Shadow Legends content. Number three, do I feel like it's a good idea overall? Is it something that I suggest that people should do? Or do I not suggest it and I'm just doing it just to do it because I can? And whatever, right? So starting off with the first question, why me personally? What is my drive or motivation behind doing YouTube? Especially, in the year of 2025, I guess it doesn't matter the year, it could be the year of 2030. In a platform that has so many people, so many content creators out there, especially even in my own niche. Why would I do it? Well, simply put, I'm not in it for the glory. I'm not in it for the money. I'm not in it for the 10,000 subscribers and getting a plaque. I'm in it for me. I'm in it in the way that YouTube used to be. YouTube used to be a platform in which you could create content, in which people would create content just because. It didn't have to be this place which was all about views, all about overscaling what you're doing. Always trying to seek after the bigger, better thing that it's turned into. It didn't have to be this overly produced content where every 2 seconds inside of a video you're seeing some type of an edit. It wasn't like that. It just used to be a place in which you and your friends or whoever would just throw something out there. Whether it be funny, stupid, whatever, you just do it. And if people saw it, then cool. But if nobody saw it, it was like, whatever, right? It was a different time. So what's going on? So why am I doing it? Going back to that question. It's because of that. It's because of the feeling of the old YouTuber vibe, the old YouTube ways. I feel like in some regards I was always born just a few years too late, right? I should have been more of a 90s kid, and I wasn't. And I should have been around in the time in which I could produce more content on early YouTube with a much more creative outlet in some regards. I mean, I was born in 2000. I'm 25 now, so back in even like 2014 or so. I mean, I was 14 years old, and some people have been very successful then who are around my age and stuff like that, and I just wasn't necessarily me. I wish I had done it more though, but lack of means, in which if I was born just a few years earlier, I might have had better access to those means to doing it. YouTube for me is my creative outlet. I don't get a whole lot of that because I'm not good at a whole lot. I can't draw. I can't write. I'm not instrumentally inclined. So much as I wish I was many of those things, it's just not me. But YouTube, video creation, that can be for anyone. You don't have to have this talent of video of like super high level editing and stuff like that. You really don't. People see success all the time with very little to no editing going on in their videos. Even now, because a lot of it is a personality game. Do I feel like highly produced videos tend to do better a lot faster? Yes. Because I feel like a lot more people get distracted by the edits going on and how good that is, and they don't necessarily always have a focus on the personality of the person that they're watching. But if you have a very good personality and you're entertaining, then you can get away without having that high level of production. Do I feel like I'm a person that has this big old personality? I don't know. It really depends on who you ask. Have I been told before that I do? Yes. But it really is dependent on the people watching and how they feel. But that's something that I'm willing to let people decide, that I want people to decide. Because it's ultimately not up to me. What's up to me is what I want to do. And if I want to do content creation because it's a de-stressor for me at the end of the day, then so be it. And if people find it and they like what they see, then great. But if they don't, then who cares? Because I'm still getting what I need to be getting out of it for my own personal life and for what helps me function, what helps me de-stress, what helps me kind of keep going. Which then leads into the next part. Why raid Shadow Legends content over anything else on the platform? Where I've done other things on the platform. I've done Pokemon card openings or TCG openings, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! Magic. I've done all of that. I've done sports cards. I've done Pokemon content. I've done Yu-Gi-Oh! Content. So what made me land on Raid Shadow Legends versus anything else that I've done before? Number one is enjoyment. I really enjoy the game. And I will be making a video soon that talks about as to why. But I really enjoy this game. I've always liked games around this concept anyways. I was a big Summer's War player back when it first released, and I still play it now on and off. So this type of style of game is very entertaining to me anyways. But it's also a game that you can actually have a lot of creativity with, and you can actually take a whole lot of different ways of looking at it, which I think is really cool and is something that I enjoy a lot, and I think is good because then I'm not limited. I'm not feeling like I'm constrained to just a box of the game, but I can go outside that box and look at this game from a multitude of different angles and find enjoyment in it in that way, which is something that I care a lot about. And which is also part of the reason why I end up using Raid anyways, because I found a new niche inside of the game that took me out of the box that I've never seen before. And I think it's good to explore that. And so as much as it, everything's a distressor, and as much as as much as all that is true, at the same time as well, is I found something. I found something that sets me apart from other people. And if I wanted through that, it has brought a certain level of joy to doing this as well. And I didn't know it at the time when I first made my first couple of videos what was going to happen. I just knew I had a thing that I really enjoyed doing, that I really enjoyed producing, and it makes it better to produce it because I do have such a strong attachment towards it. If I was just making a base level account, free to play or whatever, I don't think I would be able to stick with it nearly as much. I don't think I'd be able to make nearly as many videos on it and things like that, because I just don't have the same level of connection to it that I do this type of challenge. And for those who are new to my channel, the challenge that I'm doing is Undead Horde only is my main series that I'm working on, but I also have two separate accounts that I'm working on as well. One is poison only, and this one that you're seeing right now is defense only. So character or champions that their attacks are based off of defense and not based off of like attack or HP or whatever. Right? So, and again, these are concepts that I've never seen before on YouTube, so I'm going into it full force because there is a niche that can be put out there. Also, the Raid community has been amazing. And I think that's also something that's very important to touch on, is the community itself. And as much as I have been producing content, and as much as people have agreed with me as well for the content that I've made, they've been so kind about it, which is, I feel like it's hard to find in many other niches. I did sports cards for a little bit, Would I like to go back someday when I have more money? Yeah. But very early on, I actually had people who were not as kind to me about doing it, and because I had a lack of knowledge, which sucked. But coming into this game here, I don't feel it at all. I feel a community that wants to help me grow, that wants to give me advice and stuff like that. And that's something that I think is so rare to find in other communities, because other communities are just comparing so much to other content creators. And that's not as true of this space. And one of the biggest proprietors of that is Ash. He brings on people on his channel fairly often who have significantly lower subscribers than him. Like, he's at like 466,000, and he's bringing on content creators that are at like 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. And you don't see that very often, it feels like, at all in other niches, in other sides of content. I feel like it's so much more odd or unlikely to happen, which I think is extremely cool, and I think opens up a lot of opportunities for people who watch his content to know how to treat other people who are of a smaller stature in the space. And that's amazing, and it's just come full force. I have not received a negative comment yet on any of my videos. I've only seen care and support and willingness to help without also throwing their 2 cents in. People have asked first, hey, would you like help? Do you care if I give out any tips or not? And I think that's also really cool too, because I feel like some people try to be helpful, but it just comes off as just shoving their 2 cents in, and they're expecting people to listen to them without taking into consideration of do people even want the help in the first place. So that's why Raid. Also, I mean, I love the game, and being a part of this community just feels amazing. It feels amazing in so many ways, and I just hope that someday I can do that for other people. I could be an advocate for smaller channels, and be, it would be nice to someday, if I do grow, there is goals in growing. Like, I said, if I don't grow, I wouldn't be upset. But if I do grow, what's the end goal? What am I looking for in that? And I'm looking to become an advocate in the space for smaller content creators to start making channels, to start producing content, and being there to help them out as well as I grow in this game, as I learn more and more about it, being able to do the same for other people. So, to my last point, do I think it's a good idea? Is content creation something that I feel like more people should do? And the answer is yes, right? If you had watched this entire video and thought I was going to say otherwise, then I must not have been very good at explaining myself. Because the answer is completely and utterly yes. It shouldn't matter about the growth. It shouldn't matter about fighting for those things. If you're doing YouTube for the right reasons, and the right reasons is for you and not for what you can get necessarily out of it. Like, if you're going to YouTube with the concept of, I just want to make money, you can do that. You're going to have a lot harder of a time because it takes a very long time can take a very long time to get there. But if you're going into YouTube with the mindset of, I want to do YouTube for me, and if I get monetary value out of it, then phenomenal, but I'm not going to stress about how long it takes, and yada, 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 to get there. So I do think it's a good idea to do it if you do it with the right headspace. And, you know, that's why I've done it. But also for me, it's something that I've always wanted to do it. I have been doing or attempting to do YouTube on and off for a number of years. And so for me, it's also a little different because there's more to it. There's more, like, not necessarily like writing on it. Like, that feels like, doesn't feel like the right thing to say. But there is more involved for me in it. And that's definitely part of the reason for me doing it as well, because you know, I feel like I slightly owe it to myself to do this and to give like a really good shot at it, and not just to give up and things like that too. So I think I've said my piece. I feel like I've explained well enough. So if this video was helpful to anybody, please let me know down below. If anybody has any questions, then they can ask down below, and I'll either try to answer them in the comments or create another video to answer those questions. I hope that this was helpful to somebody, honestly, that if they were struggling themselves, it's funny that he's a defense-based, and yet all of his things are based off of attack. Anyways, if anybody is struggling, if anybody was struggling with themselves with, should I do it, should I not do it, I hope this gave them the encouragement that they need to do it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you are also new to my channel, please go check out some of my other videos. Like I said earlier, I have been doing a challenge series on using Undead only. Undead Horde only champions in Raid. Being able to beat through the faction wars doing that. So if that's something that would be interesting to you guys, then please go check it out. And eventually I'll be producing content as well based off of my poison only and defense only accounts, but it'll just be at a lot smaller. I will see you all in another video soon. Peace.